Chase says he hasn't seen anyone play Loading Screen Simulator in a while. Well, Chase, you obviously don't play any video games. Because every single video game you ever play has loading screens. Every single game. So you've obviously never played a video game, Chase. Sounds to me like you're just a Reddit troll. Copying what someone else told you to say. Because every single game that's ever been released has loading screens of some type. And if you think otherwise, you might be mentally challenged. But
You! This here is our find. So you can get the hell out or we'll kill you. The lair of the mantis is ours.
the lair of the mantis is ours. I don't have any ammo. Yes, I do.
Get the hell out now. 3, 2, got company. Find them.
Man down! Man down! Yeah, science stuff is good too. I like newsletters because of the format more than anything else. Idiots do grow on trees, unfortunately. But there's a YouTuber who told me that the game has loading screens. The game has loading screens, and it's a bad game because it has loading screens. Tell us you've never played a video game without telling us you've never played a video game. Loading screens. 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 Hang on. I'm not done yet. Hang on. I'm just on the Xbox right now. Baldur's Gate 3, loading screens. We already did that one. Outer Worlds 1, loading screens. Stalker 2, loading screens. Rogue Trader, loading screens. Hang on. We're not done. I could log on the PlayStation, or I could load up my gaming PC as well and hit the Steam page. But let's just keep going. Let's look at the how can I see full library. Hang on. This is what I was looking for. Full library. Here we go. Well, those are all the games, so not just the games. I want to go to my owned games. All right, hang on. I get confused, man. All the things we got to click on over here on tab. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Atomfall, loading screens. Avowed. God damn it, I got to go down. Avowed, loading screens. Call of Duty, loading screens. Cyberpunk 2077 has loading screens. Even though it is largely an open world game, there are elevators that act as loading screens. Hang on. Fallout 4, loading screens. Skyrim, loading screens. What's that? They're Bethesda games. Gasp! Loading screens. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Risen, loading screens. Dragon Age Veilguard, loading screens. Diablo 4, loading screens. Destiny 2, loading screens. First Descendant, loading screens. Indiana Jones The Great Circle, loading screens. Mafia the Old Country, loading screens. Neverwinter the MMORPG, loading screens. Jedi Survivor masks their loading screens as tunnel crawls. Hang on. You know where they go sideways and they crawl through a tunnel? Or they crawl through a crawl space? Loading screens. Star Trek Online, loading screens. Stalker 2, loading screens. Prince of Persia, Crown of Lost Crown, loading screens. We've already done Path of Exile. Natural Republic 1 and 2, loading screens. Starfield, loading screens. Tainted Grail, loading screens. Witcher 3, loading screens. Space Marine 2, loading screens. Rogue Trader, loading screens. Throne and Liberty, loading screens. I could go on. The fact of the matter is, every single game ever released has loading screens because that's how you take the programming that's been put into the game and put it onto the screen. It's gotta actually load the code. You get a loading screen because that's how the code is displayed in visual format. You would know this if you had ever played video games. The fact that you make a stupid comment about loading screens mean that you are not so bright and you've never played an actual video game. And you're just parroting what some idiot YouTuber told you to say or Reddit troll. And everyone, you get a loading screen, you get a loading screen, you get a loading screen, you get a loading screen. Everyone gets a loading screen. And we are going to be clipping that because we're going to take that retarded comment and we are going to spin it out into a monetized piece of content that I'm going to make money with across all of my channels. So thanks for that, whatever your name was. We're going to clip that at 1 minute 19 seconds. Da, 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 da. By the way, I didn't even bother loading the PS5 or taking a look at the Steam page, you know. But Bethesda is horrible because a YouTuber told me they are. Yeah, and the other thing too is like if you're playing on a modern piece of hardware like the Series X as an example, um, any loading screens that exist in the game are mere seconds. The only people who have to deal with, loading screen times are going to be people who are playing on potatoes. New shop code, hashtag loading screen. Hector says, when this idiot thinks about something more than Cheetos, he gets a loading screen. Oh my god! I gotta keep that in. We're not clipping that out at 119. We gotta extend that another minute so we can have the finish, the finishing move. When he thinks about anything more than Cheetos, he gets a loading screen. Oh my god, that's awesome. I love it. Transcend says even consoles have loading screens when they boot up. I know, right? Better go rant about how Xbox has a loading screen when you turn the machine on. God. Windows Updates has a loading screen. Oh my god, chat. This is awesome. You guys are awesome. This is why this is why that's why I love my job. Mornings like this are awesome. That's right, your copy machine has a loading screen too. That guy's behind. When I take the elevator, it has a loading screen. Streaming channels have loading screen. Oh, Chase, buddy. Feel the burn. Do you need some cream? Do you need some ointment for that? The coffee machine has the worst loading screens of all time. Dude, I will agree with that. Loading screens on the coffee machine suck. Yeah, correct, United. A lot of the times, like you said with Starfield, a lot of those loading screens are kind of optional because you don't have to go through all those if you don't want to. You can just skip a lot of the steps. So, for example, if I wanted to, right now, if I wanted to travel back somewhere, I could just load straight And instead of going to my ship and flying using the grav drive and everything else, I could literally just travel if I wanted to. The coolest thing about Starfield, though, is that you can take your screenshots and have them be the loading screens, which is a great way to personalize and have a more immersive experience. Mike M says, I had a 9-month loading screen before I was born. Oh my god. You guys. This is the gift that keeps on giving. Oh. Every time I turn on my phone, it's got a loading screen. Every time I download an app, there's a loading screen. Every time I patch a game, there's a loading screen. Matter of fact, if I go right now, pretty sure if I go here, I have a couple of updates that are ready to go. And if I toggle either one of those, I'll get a loading screen as it updates the game. And then when I go to start the game, I have to sit at a loading screen. Babylonia, you're right. Discord has loading screens too. Every time you wake up, your eyes have a loading screen. Oh man. Uh, yeah, I love the screenshot thing in Starfield for sure. Perlex says I have loading screens about 90 minutes after I eat an edible. Thank you, chat, for showing just how stupid some people are. Um, that was epic. What a clapback. What a burn. Go back to Reddit, troll. You are not welcome here. You shall not pass.